breakups are hard, and holidays, I feel like specifically, are really, really tough because even when you're feeling good, and even if you have a perfect relationship, like there's this odd thing that like holidays do that really just shed light on like love and family and the perfect holiday notebook-esque environment and family and relationship. Like, are you at all anxious that you're just going to feel that like dark cloud in a moment?
I think I'm prepared to feel it. And like, I know I'm going to feel it.
Yeah.
It's so new that we were supposed to be doing this Thanksgiving together and we were supposed to be doing Christmas together. So I'm still like going through phases of life where like I had tangible plans with my ex to be doing this together. So like no doubt I'm going to be sitting there being like, well, I'm supposed to be doing this right now and now I'm doing this instead. And like, so I think I'm just expecting to feel that.
You're understandably going to lightly play out like what it would have been like had they been there versus now there's like this empty chair that would have had their name on it. And it's like a weird fucking feeling. It's sad, but it's not sad, but it's just like, I don't even know how to describe it.
It's literally what grieving is. Like I went through something like very similar when I for those of you who don't know, my dad passed away when I was in college.
Yes, like it's almost like the missing person.
Yes.
Like the unsaid thing.
Yeah, it's something I had felt before with in regards to holidays, like that missing presence, like the empty chair.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like I feel like we've talked about a lot before, kind of like when you do. Now this is like kind of getting over like your ex-boyfriend. Now it's more like you talking about your dad. I feel like there's probably like a lot of daddy gang that have lost a family member, and the traditions that you kind of have to start to like create with your family without someone is like a really challenging thing because you want to honor them and remember them, but you also don't want to like move on from them. Like,
oh, I have a lot to say about this.
Oh, give it to us. Give it to us.
So I think the weird feeling of feeling like you're like moving on and like forgetting them, something that really made me think of that was my mom is now engaged and we love him.
Shout out Kara.
Yeah, shout out Kara, baby. Live your life.
She's like, she's going to clip this and send it to us. Be like, Lare, you guys gave me a shout out on the pod. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did, Kara.
Her and her fiance were indescribably thoughtful about the way they introduced him into me and my brother's lives. And they were very, very seriously dating for a while, for years before he came to one of my family holidays. Mm-hmm. And I was talking about it in therapy and I was like, I love this person. I love him as an individual. I love him for my mom. I love them together. I feel more at peace knowing they have each other. But why does him coming to a holiday feel so unsettling to me? And she was like, I think there's this unspoken thing that when he sits down at the fourth table setting, it means your dad's replaced. It means your dad's forgotten. And like, that's not the case.
That's not true. Right.
Because it was so confusing to me. I'm like, I love this person. I love their relationship. I love the whole thing. But like, it just making me not anxious. It's just, I couldn't put a finger on this unsettling feeling of like, and it was the feeling that I thought that meant that my dad was being replaced. And that wasn't the case at all.
Yeah. No, that is like so beautiful. I remember that time in your life and you handled it so gracefully. And I think like, again, you were so fortunate to have your mom handle it that way. And I know that there are
I'm so appreciative of that.
I know there are so many people that probably have horror stories of step parents and all of that, but I do think it's such a true statement. And I think we've talked about this a lot about how like there are so many ways to like continue to remember someone, and a new addition doesn't mean that someone else now like can't be a part of things. And I feel like it's hard when the person isn't there, but there's so many ways that you can celebrate that person without feeling like you're just like overriding them when we're done with you.
Sitting at a table, the four of us, I couldn't get over the fact it just felt like delete and like insert. So we just like said, fuck it. And now for Christmas, we don't sit in Pennsylvania. Every year for Christmas now, we go to a different national park and we hike and we just do something entirely different and like start over fresh. And it just feels so nice and new, and we hike and we like reminisce and we talk about them. But for some reason, just like sitting in Pennsylvania, sitting the four of us around the table just felt like, and it's so illogical, but it just felt like we were trying to like write my dad out of like the story. Yeah. And it just feels so much better and more exciting and fun to just completely start over with a new tradition.
I love that you said that, though, that you're like, it feels completely illogical. And like, I'm pretty sure, and so many people that experience that type of grief, it's like, it should be illogical because it's this like, you can't explain it and you don't have to explain it. Like, you felt the way you felt, and now I love that, like, Daddy Gang, like, you can make your own new traditions, and especially when things are wrapped in like trauma and loss, like, you can shake shit up. And when you step out of line or when you change shit up, it can feel a little disorienting.
Even thinking about like breaking the tradition, like you're like, oh, I feel like I'm like fucking up and like being like a bad family member.
And it's like, I bet all of you sitting at that fucking table, like, I bet your mom's fiance was like, probably would have been the first one to be like, guys, I'm so down to do something different.
He probably was ecstatic that now he's getting to hang out with a version of me that's like relaxed and like open, and not me sitting around the table being like,
oh my God.
Talk. Right. Say words. Say words.
Right. I think that's like a great way to like wrap that conversation up in terms of tradition is a motherfucker and it's beautiful, but it can be really, really intoxicating where you just feel like you have to follow it. And sometimes I do think, like anything in this world, maybe sometimes we need to check ourselves of like, is it tradition because it's fun, or is it tradition because you actually kind of don't know why it's tradition, and like maybe it's time to shake shit up?
Yeah.
Hi, Daddy Gang. Thank you so much for watching this video. Keep in mind that was just a little clip from the episode. If you want to watch the entire full video episode, it is linked below. It's the first thing in the description. Go watch it. It's a great episode. Love you all. I will see you next Wednesday.